running hop!
Old MacDonald woke at dawn, E-I-E-I-A. Sun came up and stretched the lawn, E-I-E-I-A. With a stretch, stretch here and a yawn, yawn there. Here a stretch, there a yawn. Morning breeze on every fawn. Old MacDonald starts the day, E-I-E-I-A.
Old MacDonald fed the hens,
E-I-E-I-O. Toss some seed into their pens, E-I-E-I-O. With a peck, peck here and a flap, flap there. Here a cluck, there a chirp. Little chicks go tweet and chirp. Feeding time is full of fun, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald milked the cow, E-I-E-I-Wow. Soft and slow he showed them how, E-I-E-I-Wow. With a squish, squish here and a pat, pat there. Here a bell, there a moo. Buckets full of milk to do. Farm life moves with love and care, E-I-E-I-Wow. Old MacDonald called the sheep, E-I-E-I-Ba. Time to wake from grassy sleep, E-I-E-I-Ba. With a hop, hop here and a bab, bob there. Here a leap, there a bleat. Woolly hooves and steady feet. All the lambs come running fast, E-I-E-I-Ba. Old MacDonald fixed the gate, E-I-E-I-Zip. Hammer, nails and boards of grate, E-I-E-I-Zip. With a tap, tap here and a bang, bang there. Here a creak, there a clap. Strong enough for one big nap. Fence is standing nice and neat, E-I-E-I-Zip. Old MacDonald drove his cart, E-I-E-I vroom. Down the path to Farmer Bart, E-I-E-I vroom. With a roll, roll here and a turn, turn there. Here a bump, there a sway. Off they go throughout the day. Wheels go round and tails begin, E-I-E-I vroom. Old MacDonald met a fox, E-I-E-I-Eek. Peeking through the garden box, E-I-E-I-Eek. With a sniff, sniff here and a tail, tail there. Here a twitch, there a pounce. But the dog began to bounce. Chase the fox back to the wood, E-I-E-I-Eek. Old MacDonald baked a pie, E-I-E-I-O. Peaches sweet and stacked up high, E-I-E-I-O. With a roll, roll here and a stir, stir there. Here a whiff, there a puff. Can't wait till it's cool enough. Farm smells good with pie to share, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald sang a tune, E-I-E-I-Do. Underneath the silver moon, E-I-E-I-Do. With a hum, hum here and a strum, strum there. Here a sway, there a clap. Critters curled up in his lap. Songs of stars and dreams so true, E-I-E-I-Do. Old MacDonald tucked in tight, E-I-E-I night. Barnyard calm beneath the light, E-I-E-I night. With a hush, hush here and a snore, snoo there. Here a blink, there a sigh. Sleep comes easy by and by. Old MacDonald rests at last.